congratulate you on this wonderful movie.
Thank you.
You've done an excellent job.
All right.
In fact, as we told you before the interview started, that we have seen your previous works and everything, and it's just been mind blowing in this performance as such.
And we loved it.
Yeah, we loved it. I
You're
was
very generous. I have no idea how to take that, but it's great.
no, it was really nice. We loved it. In fact, it was captivating. In fact, the story was, of course, wonderful.
Yeah, it's a true story. So, suddenly changes everything. So whatever I've done in life is also, have to put that on one side, and then this is a very different movie altogether. So
Correct.
yeah, I guess that's why.
And of course, Banujan, if you know, we are talking to Ali right now, and we're talking the difference of the movie coming out right now, which is the Victoria and Abdul. It's going to be in theaters this week, so we're excited to actually go see it in theaters again with our bandhus, because we said we're going to take our bandhus and go. By the way, we call our listeners as bandhus. So
Bandhus, that's nice.
Yes, yeah. So I want to ask you, how did it happen? How was the Bollywood? You already had a good kind of a mark. You were making a lot of waves there. Getting into Hollywood, how's it been? How's the journey been for you?
Well, it's been wonderful. There's been lots of auditions.
Okay.
No, but it's been nice. It's been very. It's kind of weird because I started my career in Bollywood with a cameo in this massive film, Three Idiots, and I started in Hollywood with Fast and Furious, with a cameo. So it's been sort of a bit of a parallel there. Of course, this was a big jump. I think for anybody it would have been, because it's just such a great team to be part of, and depicting such an important part in our history, which was conveniently just brushed aside. I mean, this is Stephen Frears, and then there's Universal Studios coming in and BBC. It's just a great collaboration of just the greats, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you, Ali, working with Judi Dench, talk to us a little bit about that. Were you at all intimidated at any point? And how is that? See, you've got so many scenes with her, and you can actually, the way you hold your own in each of those scenes, and sometimes one is transfixed on you during that particular. Where you move. There are certain scenes where you move to tears. So talk to us a little bit about that experience. How has that been?
Well, I remember my day one with Judy, and that was, I think, that's the best day of this entire process, because I walked in like a fan, and I've seen her. We both have this habit of arriving earlier than the scheduled time. So we were the only ones who had arrived for this lunch. It was like an Indian arranged marriage.
Oh.
The parents have set us up on this lunch, picturesque countryside restaurant away from the city, and we meet, and I walk in, and she gives me the warmest hug. She just walks up and gives me this warm hug.
Oh,
she doesn't have to. She's Judi Dench, and it just became so easy after that. She's also, I have to tell you, she's quite badass. Like she's whack, because she's like the 16-year-old kid trapped in that body.
Oh.
So I wouldn't even say trapped. My God, she's funny. She's hilarious. We would be in splits every time Judy's in the room. And I think that really helped in our chemistry. That because both of us could share that humor, and pretty much like the film. We were having this wonderful relationship brewing outside. Because we were staying in the same hotels, we would be, out for long walks together. She introduced me to scones and tea and very English things that we did.
Okay.
But it was great conversations. It was just conversations about the script, about Shakespeare, about life, about her. Lots of notes we shared on India. She loves India. She's obsessed with it. But yeah, this experience wasn't. It was far from intimidating. I think for me, it's nectar to me when my co-actor is better than me, because it's like, okay, awesome, my job is half done.
Yeah.
And in this case, she just makes you look so good. She's so generous as an actor.
You sound pretty humble. In fact, when we saw the screen presence of you and her together, you actually were holding your own, and it was interesting. In fact, some of the scenes where you actually. It's a very nice movie, but if you've not seen it, you got to say, I can't give out too much of it. But I wanted to ask you, how is that? You've always portrayed something like we have seen you in Bollywood as a fun kind of character many times. In this one, it's like you have a bit of both. You have a comical side to it, also you have a very serious thing to it. How was that transition? Was it easy for you? Was it something which you had to pick up as you started working on the project?
I think somewhere it was a collaboration of a lot of departments as well. I mean, in this case, like I said, it changes. It's a true story.
Uh-huh.
So suddenly it's a responsibility of you trying to become part of another person. It's not something else. I'm not creating someone, but I have to put in a large part of me in this, especially in this case, because there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Nothing in history. I mean, we've very beautifully shoved it aside.
Yeah.
You know, the letters were burned. There was one journal Shabani found in Karachi from his extended whatever relatives. And then she found the journals that Queen wrote, the Urdu journals. So my journey was literally trying to piece together, like a puzzle, mathematically piecing, using the costumes. There were 3-4 photographs, so we would look at the medals. Okay, that would be given to him at this time in history.
Wow.
So he must be at this status in his life, which means 6 years down that kind of stuff.
Oh wow.
So somewhere I use the costumes to actually clutch, how do you say? Yeah, I mean, grab my way and move forward in the timeline. I mean, if you see the film, you've seen it. It doesn't Lee Hall doesn't give you a timeline.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It could be over 5 days,
Right.
and yet it's 15 years.
Yes.
But if you look closely, if you go with the bandus,
Yeah.
the Altu and Faltu with the bandus,
Yes.
and you enjoy the film again, you'll notice that the costumes really take you year by year. Sometimes it's a jump of 6 months, sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes. So that's a little.
In fact, a compliment to you. In fact, as Judy Dench, we always think of her as the queen. You lived the character of Abdul. It was. We could not see Ali Fazal separate from that character. As well.
Yeah.
I felt the way.
Yeah.
Maybe the costume or your. I think you change your stage, the stature, like how you walk and everything. You kind of modify a little bit on that also, right?
But it does happen. I guess you have to be transported to that time.
Correct.
I think everything was different. Everything they wore, the way they interpreted people.
Yeah.
And I had, the only thing I had was his letters. A few of his letters. So just by analyzing the way he would talk to his servants, the way he would talk to the queen. And in this case, the progression was hard because it's a very confusing relationship. It was, I've seen those letters, sometimes she would sign off as from a loving mother to a son, writing to him. Or sometimes she would sign off saying, the queen misses her munshi, come back, my friend. And another one she would sign, miss you, come back, hold me tight. So, those are very intimate words for a monarch to say to anybody.
Correct.
But it was this sort of, it was like an embrace. It was just this mutual respect and love that they had for each other. And intellectually stimulated each other.
Correct.
Of course, as they grew, there had to be that age to it.
So while we, I think when Bandhus go watch the movie, you'll understand a lot of elements in that, and the best part is how you guys have shown the different dynamics or chemistry between the Queen and Abdul. I think it's something people should watch and enjoy rather than just be talking about it.
And a lot is left to the imagination too, with regard to the kind of relationship that they had, and there's one pivotal scene. Anyway, I don't want to give away too much. I'll probably talk about that on the air after we watch the movie. But coming back to Ali Fazal, the person, talk to us as to what makes you tick as an actor. What got you into acting?
I broke my arm. That's.
Oh, really?
I never know what to say. I don't have a glorified story. I literally broke my.
Oh, let's say, okay, it's a very cliched question. Who inspired you, or what inspired you to?
No,
take
so
this up?
honestly, I'm telling you, I was in school. I was in Doon School, Dehradun, as a boarding school, up in the north, and you have to keep doing something or the other. I was a basketball player and a hockey player. I had sciences. I was a geek. Suddenly, I've broken my arm. My life is done as I know it. So my friend, after a month of me depressed, comes in and lists, तेरी अंग्रेजी अच्छी है, वो play हो रहा है शेक्सपियर का. Why don't you try out? Like go. There's this beautiful chick there. They've come from Canada. so that was my motivation to answer your question. I had this blooming 3-month romance with this woman, beautiful woman from Canada. But little did I know that I got the part. I played Trinkilo, and I started winning awards. So I'm like, it's like you find a mole on your body and you say, oh, I didn't know that was there.
Oh.
I can live with it. It's nice. In this case, it was really nice, So I think that's where it began. That's where stage began. Films happened. I think Raju sir saw my play. I don't know, I have a vague memory, but somewhere in college, in second year college. That's when 3 Idiots happened.
Okay. And Bollywood versus Hollywood, where do you see yourself? I mean,
I think the world's getting smaller. I think it's nice that with Netflix, Amazon coming in, we've come onto the global stage. I don't want to be part of one thing. I think it's great that there's some exciting stuff happening this side. I loved how Stephen Frears pushed me out of my comfort zone. He makes you think, makes you do the work.
right.
I hope I can find more directors on this side and who can take that risk. I think cinema is diversifying. I think India is coming up with better content. In the last 2 years, we've seen churning. We've seen some big commercial films flop
Yeah.
because the formula does not work anymore.
Right.
True.
Because Hollywood's coming in, making big bucks. We gotta pull up our socks.
Correct.
I'm so happy. I just heard Newton is doing well. You know, I love Rajkumar. I think he's a lovely actor. He's doing some great stuff. Anand Rai is doing some lovely projects. I've been associated with one of them. So it's great. It's great to...
What can we look forward to from Ali Fazal next?
Fukre, part 2.
Alright.
We've just wrapped it up.
Nice.
Wow.
We release in December. So
Okay.
all the bandhus, please come watch that. That's next up.
Yeah.
I love the word bandhus. Anyway, so that's, I think, 8th of December. That's what we've announced.
Okay.
And I'm a clean slate for 2018. I'm just finishing something with Amazon right now. That's
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Anything you want to tell all our bandhus about? Get your message to our bandhus before you go today.
I don't know. Go to Western Union if you want messages. No, but watch the film. It's 1 hour 49 minutes. You know,
Yes.
that's a little longer than a message. I think it talks of love and hope. It resonates with a lot of stuff that's happening today. You can't shy away from it. It's not even cool to shy away from or be apolitical about it. I think
Correct.
it's 130 years down the line. Costumes have changed, not much. We're still seeing it. So we've tried war and politics, hasn't worked. Whole century. And this movie speaks of two people from totally opposite ends of the spectrum, just trying to have a dialogue. And it's about love.
Wonderful. Ali, thank you so much for joining us today and talking to our bandhus about what Victoria and Abdul is all about. We look forward to Fukre 2 and talking to you again sometime in the near future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.